Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Snow White and the Huntsman. This movie is directed by Rupert Sanders, and the movie stars Kristen Stewart, Chris Hemsworth, and Charlize Theron. Now, seeing all the trailers and going into this movie, I feel like they should have called it The Queen and the Huntsman, because all the trailers I had seen, Kristen Stewart as Snow White had no dialogue whatsoever. So I was kind of worried that she was going to be the reason this movie wasn't that good. Well, I saw the movie, and I can honestly say it didn't suck. Not only do you have classic characters from the Snow White story of Snow White herself, the Huntsman, the evil queen, but they added some characters that fit nice into the story, like the queen's brother. You have not a prince, but a character named William, who's added to the story, as well as the 7 dwarves, and even a nice enchanting forest that feels like a utopia, and also the dark forest that makes you hallucinate and can be quite scary. As far as the acting goes, let me start with the main cast. Kristen Stewart in this movie did a surprisingly good job. I thought she was going to be given this bad dialogue, and she was going to drag down the movie with her, I want to say, ability to display her emotions, but in the past she hasn't really been able to do that. But in this movie she could. I like how she wasn't given a lot to say because she could express it through her face and her body language, and what she was feeling, what she wanted to say, you could just tell. She didn't have to say it, so that was nice. Charlize Theron is the evil queen. Man, Charlize Theron is so beautiful, but in this movie, she's just so evil. She's like Joaquin Phoenix's character in Gladiator, where you're just like, man, I can't wait for this character to get theirs in the end. Chris Hemsworth as the Huntsman. I liked him as the Huntsman. I liked how they even added a Irish accent to his character, because it seemed like a lot of these characters were from either England or Ireland. I like that, how they gave them those accents. So it took place in somewhere outside of America. And then you have supporting cast of a character named William. He played the younger Orlando Bloom type character in Pirates of the Caribbean 4. Good job on his part. I like how they added a William Turner, Jack Sparrow, Elizabeth Swann type love triangle to the movie, but that wasn't what the whole movie was about, so, it was tolerable. And then you have the older gentleman who was the lead guy in Achilles' Myrmidon in the movie Troy. He was also the older soldier in 300. He wasn't in this movie a whole lot, but his role in this was a lot better than his villainous turn in Lockout, which was terrible. And then you have the 7 dwarfs. In this movie, they did what the special effects guys did in Captain America, where they took well-known actors and they put their faces and their heads on bodies that are a lot smaller than theirs. So, if you look close, you can tell that it's Ian McShane, Bob Hoskins, Nick Frost, Toby Jones, and Kevin Karzan. He's the bad guy in Hancock. He was also in Sherlock Holmes. He's in a whole bunch of stuff. But I liked how I did the 7 dwarfs. I liked how I did them like they were warriors, and they were miners, and they were all war-torn and gruffy-looking. They weren't, clean-shaven actors playing dwarves. I like that. So, special effects made the Enchanted Forest look like something out of Avatar meets Bambi, and then they also made the Dark Forest like something out of Sleepy Hollow meets Alice in Wonderland. They also used special effects on the Queen and her soldiers. At the beginning of the movie, when her soldiers are first introduced, they come off as these men that are made out of like glass or rock obsidian. But then they also seem that way at the end of the movie. So I kind of felt maybe they should have changed it up a bit. Have some guys made out of rock or wood or fire, something cooler. But the Queen also took on some forms that were also really well done with the special effects. So this movie was a pleasant surprise. I actually recommend it to my friends because the acting was pretty good and the special effects were awesome. From a rating of a 1 to a 5, I'm going to give this movie a 4. So, if you're a fan of Snow White, it wouldn't hurt to check out this movie, but if you're one of those Twilight fans that are going to go into this movie expecting it to be a lot like that, then you're mistaken. So skip this movie and just wait till Breaking Dawn Part 2. So until next time, guys, see ya.